According to the US Census Bureau, in the year 2021, 11.6% of the US population lived near the poverty line. That's about 38 million people. What does this mean? In the contiguous United States, a family of 4 making $30,000 or less is living in poverty. So in this video, we will share with you 6 psychological habits that's secretly making you poor. Number 1, impulse spending. In 2020, 88% of American adults admitted to making impulse purchases. Have you ever wondered why we impulsively spend money? Psychologically, what is the reason? The simplest and most obvious reason is the lack of self-control. When we see something shiny, new, and pretty, we jump at it. Even when we know we have a negative bank balance, we give into that awesome feeling of instant gratification. Rather than letting the rational part of your brain decide to save up money, ask yourself the questions, is this a need or is this a want? Or thinking for a minute and realizing you have 10 other pairs of jeans already. You hand over that credit card and click the buy button. There's also some cognitive biases in play here. Things like present bias, which is when you put the feeling of instant gratification first while undervaluing any future rewards. There's also optimism bias. This is when your brain underestimates the likelihood of something negative happening because of your actions. In fact, a survey conducted in 2022 found that consumers in the United States spent $300 a month on impulse purchases. That's $3,600 a year. Over time, this adds up to you living paycheck to paycheck. Number 2, upgrading your lifestyle with more income. Did you know that Jeff Bezos was interviewed by Bob Simon in 1999 for 60 Minutes, where Simon asked him, "What's up with the Honda?" Bezos laughed and responded, "This is a perfectly nice car." In 1999, the net worth of Jeff Bezos was $10 billion. He could certainly afford a nicer car. Why didn't he? Imagine you got a significant pay raise at work. You went from living on a yearly income of $75,000 a year to making $100,000 a year. When people earn more money, they often want to buy nicer things and have more fun. This is normal, but there's a catch, and that's called lifestyle inflation. It means as income goes up, so do expectations of how you live. This can create a cycle of always spending more when earning more. While enjoying extra money is great, it's also smart to save some for later. This seems to be the part that most people forget to do. A recent Lending Club survey found that 49% of high-income earners making more than 6 figures are now living paycheck to paycheck. Pretty surprising, right? This is because of lifestyle inflation. Psychologically speaking, it's natural to want to have a higher quality of life with more income. After all, you've earned it, literally. If you've been living life barely making ends meet, having more money will be a freeing feeling for you. So you buy things you've always wanted to buy, eating out often, and splurging money on things you never did before. This is largely due to social and cultural influences. They promote the idea that success and happiness are linked to material possessions and a certain lifestyle. Even though you have more money, you're still the same poor person because the extra money you've earned has not improved your financial situation. It's actually made it worse. Instead of using the extra money to do things that'll help you in the future, you've spent all the money today on frivolous things. This ultimately keeps you poor. Did you know that billionaire investor Charlie Munger lived in the same house for 70 years? How come lifestyle inflation didn't affect him like the rest of us? I'll leave you to answer that question. Number 3, living beyond means. This means you spend more money than you earn to maintain a lifestyle beyond your financial capacity, even if it means taking on debt. From a psychological standpoint, what needs are we trying to fulfill by pretending to be rich? Part of this has to do with self-esteem. For some people, their self-worth is tied to the things they own. So they show off all the expensive handbags, the nice car, and designer clothes because it makes them feel good. Then there's also the fear that they'll be rejected by others if they don't have nice things. Some people worry that others might look down on them or judge them because they're not rich. So they put up a facade and pretend to have a fancy lifestyle, when in fact, they're sitting on top of a mountain of debt and can't afford to pay all their bills. There's also peer pressure. It's that thing where we see our friends or coworkers eating at fancy restaurants, they buy the latest and greatest of everything, and live life large. This makes us feel pressured to keep up with them. You know, keeping up with the Joneses. Number 4, not saving money. Are you thinking what I think you're thinking right now? I barely make enough money to pay my bills and put food on the table every month. I don't have any money left over to save. If you think like this, you're not alone. This is the number one reason people give for not being able to save money. This is probably why, according to the Federal Reserve's Survey of Consumer Finances, the median savings balance of an American under the age of 35 is just $3,240. I think it's pretty fair to say that most of us know and understand why it's a smart idea to put aside money. So why is it so difficult to do? The psychological answer is delayed gratification. Imagine you put aside $10 every month in your savings account. Sure, right now, $10 in your savings account isn't much. But do that consistently over 12 months, you have an extra $120. Delayed gratification is when you have to wait a little while to reap the benefits of something, as opposed to experiencing it immediately. And then there's our outlook on finances based on our upbringing. Even though we may not realize it, a huge reason why most people don't save money is because they were never shown or taught how to save. Maybe you grew up in a family where you saw your parents put unexpected expenses on a credit card and spent money without really worrying about the future. So now you do the same thing. There's actually another reason. Imagine you saw a really pretty pair of designer shoes on sale for $450. The retail value of those shoes is about $650. What a bargain, right? How great would it feel to buy those shoes and take them home? Do you know why spending money makes us feel great? This is because of dopamine, or the brain's reward system. Unfortunately, saving money doesn't quite give you that same awesome feeling. But here's the problem. When you refuse to acknowledge the financial benefits of saving money, you face the risk of being financially unstable. Number 5, mismanagement of debt. The financially stable, successful folks pay off their credit card balance in full every month. One of the biggest, if not the biggest reason how credit card debt makes you poor is by keeping you stuck paying high interest rates. Credit cards have some high interest rates. It's pretty common for people to pay upwards of 20 to 24% in credit card interest. When all the money you make goes into paying the minimum monthly payments on a high interest credit card, you'll have no money left over to invest or save. You might be surprised to know that the way credit card companies fund the perks enjoyed by wealthy individuals, such as access to luxury airport lounges and cash rewards, is by charging you interest on your remaining balance each month. In fact, the average American is $52,940 in debt. This includes car loans, personal loans, student loans, medical debt, and mortgage loans. Research has shown that people who experience financial stress are 20 times more likely to attempt suicide than those without this type of stress. The biggest psychological factor at play here is avoidance or denial. This is a coping mechanism we all use when we don't want to deal with something that causes us anxiety or stress. So what do? We either avoid thinking about the gigantic amount of debt, sort of the out of sight, out of mind approach, or we refuse to accept what a big problem the debt is. We think, it's not that bad, everyone has some debt. Number 6, procrastination. Imagine your money is like a little plant. If you take good care of it and make the right choices early, it can grow big and strong over time. But if you keep delaying it by saying, I'll do it later, it's like not giving the plant enough water and sunlight. The plant, or your money, won't grow as much as it could. So when you procrastinate on making important money decisions, your money doesn't have the chance to grow and become as useful as it could be in the future. The funny thing about procrastination is that your mind tricks you into thinking there's still enough time to do something that should have been completed a long time ago. If you're a procrastinator, being poor is going to be something you'll have to embrace for the foreseeable future. So don't procrastinate on important decisions that could help you in your path to financial success. We actually have another great video that delves deep into what causes procrastination. If you struggle with procrastination, make sure to watch it because we give you some practical tips you can use to address it. Money is something we all care about. You might not have much today, but things can change. If you're doing things that aren't great for your money, think about how you can make them better. Believe it or not, money stress is a big issue for many people. Understanding the psychological factors we talked about in this video can contribute to better mental health and financial success. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more. It's completely free and your support means a lot. Don't forget to leave a comment below about any other poor money habits that we may have missed. As always, don't forget to spread loving kindness to all beings around you and be the change you want to see in the world. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.